Hello guys and welcome back to a new episode, and today we are doing multiplication, lesson 2. So, objective for today. Today our objective is to know how to multiply efficiently. You will learn a method, but remember, always know other methods to handle every situation. This is because in most questions you won't just get 6 times 7 or other examples. It will twist the question so you get it wrong. Outrageous, right? Multiplication, the easier version. Multiplication, otherwise known as the product, is when you increase your starter amount. Increase. The number you multiply with are both called products. That's why the total name is product. In tests, they will say, what is the product of these two numbers? You have to multiply both of them. So if you're new to multiplication, this is how you do it. If you already know it and you're just doing this for a reminder, okay, so we're going to harder versions also. So, example, let's just look at this. 2 multiplied by 3. Let's take 2, which is called the product, and also 3 is called the product. 2, let's say there's 2 triangles. Always use shapes. Imagination is the best thing, okay? You need to learn that. So if you take 2 triangles, so 1, 2, so 2 triangles. So 2 multiplied by 3. This multiplied by 3 means 2 triangles 3 times. So this 3 times means this is 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. So when you count all of them together, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means 2 multiplied by 3 equals 6. And this includes your knowledge of the times table. You need to be able to know your times tables up to at least 10. Once you get older, a little bit up to 12. And over that, you don't really need to know, but you can do it for extra learning. So these are the questions, so try not to cheat because it's only for your benefit, if you do not cheat. The answers are going to be at the end of the video, so you can tag along and you can watch until the end to know the answers. Or you can just skip forward, I don't mind. Anyways, so those are the questions. The last 2 in red are slightly harder if you are new to multiplication. Multiplication, the easiest way for big numbers. So this type of multiplication is called short/long multiplication. Short multiplication is when you multiply a 2+ digit number with a 1-digit number. Long multiplication is multiplying a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. Example on the next page, I'll show you that later. So let me round up a little. So short multiplication is when you, let's say a 2-digit number is 10 and the 1-digit number is 3. So 10 times 3, 30. So yeah, that's just my times table knowledge. Long multiplication is multiplying a 2 digits by a 2 digits. So that means 13 multiplied by 13, which is 169. Or 14 times 14, which is 196. I'm just showing off now. Anyways, if you see down here this picture, it's it shows this. What do you think it might be? If you're let's say if you're used to multiplication, just understand what it might be. So at the end of the video, we'll go through this. So example for short multiplication. If you just take this example, 29 multiplied by 4. So the first thing you always have to do is line up the numbers. This is because if you line them in the wrong way, you're definitely going to get the question wrong. Also, you always need to remember your symbols. I'm always going to say this because it's the most important thing in maths. Because let's say it's an addition question, but you accidentally take away. If you do that in fractions, you're in big trouble. And you can't really... There's a set of questions that ask you to add, but you take them all away, take them away in tests, you're going to get loads of marks. Cancelled or wrong. So, anyways, step 2, so we've done step 1. Step 2 is, basically, when you have 29 times 4, multiplication, this is when you need to use, this is for people with slightly bigger understanding of the times tables, up to 12. So, first thing you do is 9 multiplied by 4. You have to always start with the 1s on the right-hand side. Always remember. So 9 times 4 is 36. You have to take the 1s because you multiplied the 1s. So if you put the 6 here, over down here. Then you have your 30 left. It's actually, you might call it a 3, but it's actually a 30, technically. Well, in technical use. So, 3, you have to carry on to here. Because if 3 is actually a 10, so that means it's 30. If you see 2 over here, that's also a 10, that's also 20. So, you just put 3 up there so you remember. Next step, you have to do 2 multiplied by 4. So it's going to stay multiplied for now. 4 now, I say. 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. 8 add the 3, it's actually 80 add 3, but we're going to keep it simplified. So 8 add 3 is 11. So you write down 11, and then your answer is 116. Sorry about that. Always recheck your answers. You might have done a silly mistake in your calculations, you know? That's the most important thing you need to do after doing a question. Or you can do it right at the end of the test, but I think it's more efficient if you do it after you've done the question, so you don't have like issues doing it at last. Sorry about that. Long multiplication. 13 multiplied by 7. Let's take it as an example. So step 1, you have to line all the numbers up. Like I said at the beginning, it's very important to do that. And the symbol, always important. Step 2. This might get a little complicating, so I'm going to say it slightly slower. And I'm going to tell you my key. So this is my legend, or yeah, key. So where was underlined in red, that's the first calculation you have to do. It's like 3 times 7. This is in red, this is in red, so you have to do 3 multiplied by 7 first. Or in 1 multiplied by 7 as well. So, and then the green underlining is the second calculation. What's that? Anyways, so step 1, you have to do 3 multiplied by 7, which is 21. Use 1s and carry 10s. That's very correct. So, you see this? So basically the 1, you need to carry down, you put it down there. You have to use it there. And you have to carry the 20, or 2, over here. Remember, you do not focus on this number. It's the 10s on the second line. Do not focus on that right now. Focus on that later, because you're going to need it later, but you don't need it now. Because it always gets confusing once you start using, if you like taking note of that. So you do 1 multiplied by 7, which is 7, I hope. Anyways, 7 plus 2, or 20, is 9. So you have to put that 9 there. The 9 is always 90. Always remember that. Do not always think it's a 9. It's actually a 90. So it's 9, so you get 91. So basically your first step is 13 multiplied by 7. You're doing this part first. After, you have to go into the next part. So you have to go into this 10. You have to forget about this 7. And you have to focus on this 10 or 1 right now. So you have to do 1 multiplied by 3, which is 3 of course. And then 1 multiplied by 1, which is 1. And you might get confused by this 2 from there. So I suggest after you've carried it and added it, you cross it out to make it more clear for you. So 1, 3, and I forgot the most important thing. Do not forget your placeholder. Your placeholder is the most important characteristic in your long multiplication. Because if you forget that and you just say you put 3 over here and then 1 down here, you get the question wrong. You put that, oh crap, sorry. You put that 0 there. I put a smiley face, it makes me remember. Put a 0 there because you are not multiplying 1s, you're multiplying 10s. So in the end of the day, you're actually doing 10 multiplied by 10. What? You're not. You're actually doing 13 multiplied by 10, 130. So that's where you got that. You leave this out. For this form, the first part, you're actually doing 13 multiplied by 7. This part, you're doing 13 multiplied by 10. I hope you get that. Yeah, do not forget that placeholder. It's called a placeholder. So, you understand placeholders once we come into decimals. So, 1 plus 0 is 1. 9 plus 3 is 12. You carry the 1. Always carry. Remember, you carry. So, 1 plus 1 is 2. So, your answer is 221. Like I say, always double check. You do all of this for all your questions. You will nail your exam for multiplication. Well, when the numbers start getting bigger, you really have to concentrate on your placeholders. Your placeholders are the most important part. If you forget them, you'll probably get it wrong. And one more thing to add. If you're multiplying 3-digit numbers by a 3-digit number, or yeah, 3-digit number by a 3-digit number, remember when you're on the 3rd digit, so let's say that this was 2 and this is 1, when you go into this 1 down here, you have to put 2 zeros instead, because you're actually doing 100 multiplied by 200 or 200 multiplied by 100. So that means you need to put 2 because they're in the hundreds now. So that's that. And now the questions. So for short multiplication, this is the one. Last question is kind of a challenge. Hope you can do it. Long multiplication, the last one is extra hard. Forgot that comma over there. Tip, put 2 placeholders for the hundreds column. Like I said, 3 digits by 3 digits. Move. Okay. Try those, and yeah, I'll give you a few seconds for that. You have to pause the video and take as much time as you want. Okay. Now the answers. So these are the answers. If you want to pause them and then check your answers, these are that. So if we go back here, so this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, etc. Then comes down here. So then, yeah, those are the answers. The last one is a really big number. Not as big as millions, but a big number. So, okay, hooray, I'm finished now. But remember, before you even get to the answers, you always need to recheck. If you do not recheck, you are prone to getting it wrong. Even if you do recheck, you have a chance of getting it wrong because of the pressure of that test and the time left. If you have lots of time left, be really calm and go through your work. Now on to that last question we were on. So here, this is basically telling us 8 multiplied by 10 is 80, and 8 multiplied by 3 is 24. So I asked, what might the calculation be? It might be, if you see, when we came onto here, we basically split the thing. So we did, when it was 13 multiplied by 17, we actually did 13 multiplied by 7, and then 13 multiplied by 10. It's kind of the same case over here. So we splitted 2 numbers using a number bonds to these 2 numbers. So this would make 13. You split 13 into 10 and a 3. And then 8 is your product, so you keep it there. This is a product as well, but you basically divided them into 2. So now it's going to make it much easier to calculate. But this can be time consuming depending on the question. Because then at the end, you have to add these numbers up. 104, showing off again, stop. So you can use this method as well if you want, but if you're not comfortable with that, you can always use this method. Okay, that'll be the end of this video. I hope you understood. If you didn't understand anything, please you can tell me in the comments below. And have a lovely day. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.